This week we are going to be hosting a picnic themed birthday party. We're going to go shopping for some supplies, make some fun spring themed DIY crafts, and I'm also going to share some of my favorite sustainable hosting tips. I hope you enjoy.
Welcome back to the vlog. So today I am on errands with my little errand buddy. I don't know if you're a mom, but there's a poem that it really put into perspective just the opportunity or the privilege it is to be able to run errands with your little guy or like your little baby. I know for a long time I felt like, oh, everything is so much harder with babies and trying to get out of the house. Like to do a task takes 10 times as long. Since I saw the poem, I started to see it. No, like he is my little errand buddy. But on the topic of babies, today we are out running errands for his first birthday. So he turned one a couple weeks back, but we're hosting family this weekend to just do a little bit of a celebration. We're looking for little bits and bobs, little pieces for decor, but I'm really trying to keep it sustainable, to do my best to not just buy into, need to have all these things to put on a good birthday party, and instead really think through my choices and make smart decisions. I've really started to really take my day-to-day actions more seriously, try to make better choices where I can, not avoid having, say, like a birthday party altogether, but to do it in a way that we can have fun and it can be a cute aesthetic theme and also be smart and kind to the planet.
The very first store we went to was the dollar store. The first thing I grabbed was this brown paper. This is a peek at what the theme might be, and I thought it was sweet, but keeping sustainability in mind, I left that at the store. I was actually quite overwhelmed with all that you could buy, how much just stuff was in the store. You know, this is just $1 store of thousands in Canada. Yeah, it was just like, wow. Humans, we consume a lot of stuff. I was looking for dishware, and while a lot of these were really sweet and very spring-like, find the coloring washes off. They're not made of the safest plastics, so I skipped those too. I then tried a local craft store. I thought I would have better luck here. I was just kind of browsing. I originally thought maybe I would get some ribbon to do some balloons. I also picked up these letters for a craft for the party. Can you guess what the theme might be? I also stumbled across the sewing section, and I'm in my sewing era, so I will probably be heading back.
It's a new day. The birthday party is tomorrow, so it is time to bring this vision to life. I guess a disclaimer, when you're online, it can seem like everyone is hosting these huge parties, especially for babies, baby showers and first birthdays. And my hope with this channel is just to be maybe a bit more realistic. We have 2 young kids, but our time and our energy is going elsewhere, not to putting on a big elaborate party. But I believe it's really important to put in just the little extra touches to do something just a little bit more special. You may be someone who goes all out for your parties, and that's wonderful. But I also hope if you're like me and you're a busy mom or a busy parent, you're not putting pressure on yourself to do something big and elaborate. Something that we do in our house is my partner and I, we both take the day off and we just make the day, the actual birthday, about spending time together. And so this is just extra. It is unnecessary, but it's a fun way to be creative and just to do something that's just like a bit more special. So my baby's a spring baby, and so I originally thought I wanted to do like a Signs of Spring type of birthday. I remember when he was born, and it was like that time when spring like nature was opening up again. And so I thought that could be a sweet theme. And I thrifted him a little sweater with ducks. So I thought maybe I could go animal roots, so all the baby animals. But then I was thinking back to just something that was really special about him. And I remember the first time he giggled was when I was singing him the Ants Go Marching One by One song. So I thought ants, spring is a time when all the bugs start to come out. So that's what I decided to go with. I am like a food focused person. I don't know if you follow astrology. I'm a Taurus. I just love the food aspect of an event. So I was thinking, like, how can I bring my fun and love of food into creating a first birthday and making it fun and whimsy and also an enjoyable experience for the people who are going to be joining us and an enjoyable experience for my little guy. And so I was thinking of like a spring picnic, doing like a spread of foods that you might find at a picnic or bring to a picnic. And then also just scattering in those little elements of the bugs and some little flowers just to create a tablescape that feels very spring. I have my tablecloth, so I thrifted this years ago. We actually use it a lot and I decided to use it again. It feels very picnicky, like perfect spring picnic party aesthetic. But another thought I had was to make little ants. Like I've said about this party, I'm really trying to be more sustainable. While there were so many things that I could have bought, so many ideas that I could have, brought to life, I really tried to hone it in and just keep the best, or like the ones that I felt were the best. So when I think of a picnic and like the concept of like the ants go marching, I definitely wanted some ants. I got these at the craft store, the little pom-poms, and then some little googly eyes. You don't often see 55 cents. Like that's quite a luxury to see 55 cents. So that's one project. The other project that I want to do is I just want to make these little wooden the letters. And I want to just create a sign that stands in amongst the food that says happy birthday and then my little guy's name. I also thought these could be reused, where we can learn about the alphabet and how to spell different names, maybe of people that we love. I was thinking it'd be fun to do like a board with family members' pictures and then putting their names below. And then same with the ants. I plan to use it as decor. It's not going to just be like use them once and then never use them again. And that was kind of the lens that I was trying to think through. How can I either use what I already have at home and tie it into the aesthetic? Or if I'm going to buy something, how can I extend the life of that thing? I also just got some seeds, unrelated, but for planting. I actually thought it could be fun to give them out to the little guys who are coming to the party. These are chives. There's a cafe I used to always go to in Montreal. It's called Milk. They have the best scones. And so I want to create a cheddar and chive scone, a vegan version. Not for the party, just in general. So I got those when I was at the shop. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them, but I did get sprinkles. Green felt right, or maybe like a cupcake with the concept of like grass on top of them. So I've been saving paper towel rolls over the past few months thinking of this birthday. I've seen these beautiful tulips that I think could be fun to like make a couple of them just kind of stick out of the tablescape. I also saw like frogs, you can make birds. You make so many animal liveries, and I just thought that was really, really fun. And this, I was thinking of maybe putting it around our cutlery. And then I have a little bug stamp that I thought could be really cute. And I plan to put these in a basket.
Way up here.
This basket. And I'm also going to line it, I think, the brown paper, like a compostable paper. And speaking of our cutlery, these are left over from our wedding. They're actually really sturdy. Great bowls, compostable, and then the compostable cutlery. You can't get compostable cutlery local to us, so I did have to order these on Amazon. When it comes to that type of stuff, it's like, is it worth using Amazon and getting compostable plates and utensils, or is it better to just use the plates and utensils that are available locally, but they're not like as eco-friendly? So for our wedding, since we were serving a mass amount of people, we went to choose Amazon and go the eco-friendly route, and I just feel lucky to have some left over. We also have a couple of balloons while balloons are really fun and kids love balloons. Like if you're gonna have a party, kids love balloons. So I knew I didn't want to go without balloons, but equally I know how harmful balloons are, especially to animals. And the thought of a little animal getting caught up in a balloon that ended up in a landfill, that I find really difficult. So what I do with the balloons is I cut them up, but I did try to get a biodegradable balloon. The only place I could get those as well was Amazon, and it was going to take weeks and weeks for them to come in. So I would have missed the party anyway, so I decided to not go that route. But I just wish places like the dollar store or even like the local shops would stock them. And maybe part of what I could do about this is go to the shops and ask them.
Okay, this is Robin from the future, and I actually just did this. So I did head over to one of the local children's shops, and I just brought up the conversation of birthday parties. The store owner had never even thought about that, about bringing in a more eco-friendly balloon. She's also a mom, so she gets it. She knows that balloons are pretty prevalent. So definitely head out to your shops and have the conversations, because I think this is how things do slowly shift.
I think if you're going to these places and you're talking to the owners, to the staff, and you say, hey, like, I have like 12 years of birthday parties ahead, plus more, but like 12 years of like childhood birthday parties ahead, and I would love to use some biodegradable balloons, can get them in stock. I'm working on a blog post right now about going vegan. I became vegan almost a decade ago, and how we live in a non-vegan world. So to eat more animal friendly, it requires a lot more thought and intention and prep. You quickly realize how centralized our world is on animal cruelty, and how like getting a convenient meal, whether it be something pre-made at the grocery store or from a restaurant, it's a lot harder to get something that is vegan. You're constantly having to put in that like extra amount of work just because there's very limited amount of animal-free products available. That was 10 years ago when I started. It's so much better now. Like at holidays, like at Christmas, where we live, like a tradition is to have a turkey dinner. We center Christmas dinner around an animal. And I think about that from the lens of like a food bank. So grateful that farmers donate food to help feed people, but when they're donating animals, so like turkeys, around the concept of having a traditional Christmas turkey dinner, then the people who are utilizing the food banks, the families that are utilizing the food banks, they have no choice but to consume animal products, even if that's not what they want. When the world is so centered on harming animals and not being very eco-friendly, it's like day to day you're confronted with the choice of how am I going to approach this? Like, what's the best way to approach this? So that's how I'm feeling about balloons, and I may or may not use them.
Do I cause a start? Can I get a reaction, please? 'Cause your satisfaction is where all the action is. Your eyes so blue, don't know what to do.
I just realized I forgot the most important part, which are the eyes. So I'm going to add those now. It's actually cute. Okay, the next craft is these flowers. Ignore my computer screen. I have a new computer coming. It was like a day after I decided I was going to start YouTube that she started to do this. My partner has the same model and it did the exact same thing. Apparently it's a thing with this model of MacBook. Anyway, ignore that screen. I'm thinking these ones are cute. Just like the variety of them. These are also really cute too. See where the creative spirit leads me, but I'm gonna try that. You can kind of see the vision coming to life. For the tulips, I don't want them to all be the same height. want a bit of variety. Flatten them like a leaf. You do like the stem. And then you do the flower. Should have used a pencil. Obviously, that was silly. Okay, I need to glue that back together. But that's gonna be cute. And then I'm gonna need my cuts. I made too many points. Definitely make a stencil if you do this at home. But like, I kind of wish I didn't do that because I kind of like the paper look. But I am gonna paint them. They're gonna be painted. I'm gonna try a different design. I should do a daffodil. Daffodils are one of my favorite spring flowers. Let's serve them. Now that I know kind of the direction, I'm gonna finish up the rest of these tonight. But I really love how they are starting to look.
Super cute.
It's finally the day of the picnic. So this basket actually worked out really well. I don't know if you have these snap peas where you are, but they are so good. Sandwiches are such an easy way to offer vegan alternatives. Just look for vegan deli meat and cheeses at the grocery store. I also wanted to include some easy snackables, like these Greek-inspired skewers. And gummy worms, they are a must for a spring picnic. I know I've said the word cute about 100 times so far in this video, but it really is the ants that bring the entire idea together and make it come to life. Such an easy, kid-friendly, but also slightly elevated birthday party theme. What a fun party.
It's been a few days since birthday party, and I'm just gonna tidy up some of the last little pieces and finally put them where they need to go. I felt absolutely exhausted after the party and just taking me some time. So these were a hit. This is my favorite, and I think this one, he's starting to come apart now. I should have put a bit more glue. So I'm going to fix them up so that we can reuse them. every spring. It can be part of our decor. We will end up putting like a Mod Podge or something over top because I do find that the paint that I used coming off a bit on my finger now. I did decide to go with just a few balloons and they were loved. But I was reading up on how to dispose of them because it's been a while since I used a balloon. And I know I used to cut them up. I read a long time ago about how marine life, like sea turtles, can mistake them for food. And I think it scared me a bit because even if you cut them up perfectly and you put them in something heavy in your trash so they don't flow away, there's a chance that they could choke an animal. It's just one of those things, like kids love balloons. So can someone create a balloon that they can play with and love and it doesn't have to hurt our ecosystems, our animals, our environment? You may never thought about balloons as much as I've been thinking about them, but it's one of those things that's like so prevalent in our society. It's like, yeah, of course, birthday balloon. Like, if it's going to be prevalent in our society, like, how can we do it better? And I do think disposing of them properly is the best that we can do at this time. Yeah, deflating them without release balloons, like it's actually interesting with a release balloon, off topic entirely, but like also not. When I was pregnant with my first, we had our baby shower at a family cottage. At this point, we didn't know what the gender was going to be, but we went down to the beach and we were taking some photos and a balloon popped up like on the beach, or it was like on the sandbar, and it was a blue, it was like white with blue writing, or there was like blue on it. And I just was like, oh, that's the universe saying this baby's a boy. It turns out it was true. We didn't find out till the baby was born, but I think about that. I also think about how like the balloons, someone released that balloon somewhere and it showed up on the beach. So I do like to take the time to cut them up, which I'm going to do right now. I think what's important too is like, I'm sharing this as someone, like I'm not, like I have a heart for this stuff. I overthink this stuff, but like I also understand that so many of us don't have the luxury to think about these things in today's world. And like, I don't ever want what I say to feel like judgmental or anything, because that's not what it is. It's kind of like, how can we do this better? Like, how can we do this in a way, how can we enjoy our human things in a way that doesn't demand perfection? Because I don't think that's fair. We all have so much going on, but in a way that just helps us to, again, like think differently, make different choices. Like we could have blown up 30 balloons. And I think because I was thinking so much about it, it's like, well, no, like 5 balloons will do. Yeah, I think the compound effect of that, if we just all keep making decisions and choices that inch us a little bit closer until the perfect balloon is created that we can enjoy, and it doesn't harm or doesn't risk harming wildlife. I think about it that way. I'm treating this channel and what I share here as very much like I'm learning, experimenting, growing, and I am no expert, but I just want to do better. Another thing on the topic of birthday party and what I liked and what I want to do again is I thrifted this sweater. Is that what it's called? And it's handmade, which I remember when I saw it on the shop, I was like, oh. Because this type of stuff is not easy to make. Like, artist is at the bottom, Lee's 85. We're 2026 now. This has been around now for some time. But I use it as a veggie tray. You can also do fruits. You could do nuts. You could do crackers and dips, like hummus, and it could be chocolate and like more sweets. But I just thought this is going to save so much plastic. I can't believe I got it at a thrift store. It was a Renaissance in Montreal. And I want to say it was probably like $4.95. And if a piece was to break, you could still use it. Even that's still cute. People really like the little ants too. Those I've kept up here I highly recommend them for a party for yourself, but also just as a fun craft that you can make with your little ones for spring decor. I don't know if we think about bugs so much for spring decor, but with 2 little boys, I'm kind of leaning that way. Like when I think of spring, I think of them pointing at the bugs on the ground. And yeah, I think it's a cute way to bring those bugs to life. Oh, also, today I went thrifting. Thrifted a few things for spring. Little pots. I have to clean them up. And this tablecloth. I think those two together is like such a sweet spring into summer aesthetic. Isn't that beautiful? I'm gonna leave these butterflies up for spring. I don't know if I showed them leading up to, I think I did, but these me and my little guy made. So it was just cute to have something that, you know, we crafted together. Yeah, I got to show off my coffee bar to friends and family, so that was fun. One thing I will mention is I set out with this party to make a happy birthday sign. I've been seeing them all over Pinterest. It's actually quite trendy right now. And I did thrift some fabric for them and I did make the sign, but I ran out of fabric glue, so I used just regular glue and not peeked through the layers of fabric. So I was gonna use some glitter glue to kind of trace along, but I ran out of time to do that. And then I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm just gonna put up the sign as is. But then I went to lift it up and some of the letters fell off. So my plan for that is to sew it. I'll probably hand sew it, like with embroidery string. I'm gonna do something to it, and that will be something that we put up as a family year after year. And I was thinking it'd be fun to add like a little piece of decor or something special from each birthday to it. So I might add an ant to this one as like a special little something. If you enjoyed this video and if you've been enjoying my videos, in the next few videos, I'm taking you along on another thrift trip, and also we are going to be starting our garden for the spring. We have veggie beds that we started 2 years ago. They kind of fell to the wayside last year, but I'm gonna bring those back to life with some DIYs and also a cut flower bed. Maybe doing that and then fixing up some of the front gardens. So if you enjoy this type of content, then definitely say hi in the comments. I would love to meet you, and I will see you in the next one.